We'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen,
Here.
Green,
Here.
LaFour,
Here.
Mistravich,
Here.
Rindell,
Here.
Ricks,
Here.
Warren.
Here.
Good to see everybody here tonight. Council just came out of the first part of their budget session. Approval of minutes would be in order for the budget workshop of May 7th.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also need approval of the minutes of the regular city council meeting of also the same day, May 7th. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments on any non-agenda items. If anybody would like to address the city council, we ask that you use the podium, state your name and your address for the record. Would anybody like to address council at this time? Okay. We will move on. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? Being not, a motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
Make
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. No discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There is no discussion on the consent agenda motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to our items for consideration this evening. We have 7. The first one being consideration of the purchase of a Rosenbauer Quint from our fire department. Mr. City Manager?
City Council is scheduled to consider approving the purchase of a Rosenbauer 78-foot rear mount Viper Quint through the dealer EV Plus. The RVFD and Chief Grant at the last budget workshop walked the council through their research that they've done on trying to find a replacement for our ladder truck that was damaged and taken out of service due to an accident last July. They've done considerable amount of research and have found a ladder truck that's roughly 60 to 70% through the construction process, which is making it kind of advantageous to the city if we was to pursue that vehicle, and we'll probably get it at roughly $100,000 less than a comparable vehicle if we order it to be completed now. Due to that fact, there is a part of the motion that recommends waiving the purchase ordinance and going with this particular vehicle from Rosenbauer. And with that, I'll turn it over to the fire chief in case he has anything.
Chief, you have anything to add?
I do not, no.
Okay.
The amount of money has stayed the same. They are ready to go once we give them the approval.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to waive the purchasing ordinance requirements under section 64-53D to authorize the fire chief and city manager to sign the purchase agreement for the Rosenbauer 78 rear mount Viper Quint in the amount of $639,598 and request that Tifa include $50,000 towards the purchase.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion? One of the things we've had is a lot of discussion over this over the last 10 months. And I believe the fire department, again, has done an outstanding job of doing the research, spending the time on the road in Indianapolis to go to a show just in case. And it looks like we hit some luck down there being able to get the machine that we had decided on that we wanted for $100,000 less than what most people spend for these machines. So hats off to the department again for doing that. And the fact that we need that machine and it's going to do so much, as you have told us and taught us over the last 10 months. The Quint is just that. It does 5 different things, and that's exactly what this department needs. And it was too bad about the ladder truck and the accident, but here we are. It's going to bring the department, I think, miles ahead by the sounds of it, by having that Quint. So, again, great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Other comments?
Yeah, I would just like to say something. We've been researching this for many years, and it just, because of that forward thinking years ago, when an opportunity like this presented itself to hop on this, to purchase this truck and to have a significant savings, I just really appreciate the department forward thinking that we're able to then take advantage of this. And this is from what we've been discussing, this is going to be a perfect fit for our community. So I just appreciate everything that has gone into this over the past couple years.
Well, I thank you for that as well, and I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's on the board, because you've listened to everything that we've had to say from a fire department standpoint, and, it's, thank you as well.
Okay. Any questions? Further comments?
Yeah, I was just gonna say also with the Quint, it's so vital for the industrial growth in the city to have that type of protection in the city that the ladder provided before for the future moving forward. So, it's gonna hopefully put companies at ease that they know that they have that type of protection in town.
Great, great. Any audience participation on this item? Okay, back to the table. All in favor of the motion, I'm sorry, roll call. Why do I always do that, Mike?
Green,
Look, I got it
Yes.
circled, I got it written down.
LaFour,
Yes.
Mistravich,
Yes.
Rindell,
Yes.
Ricks,
Yes,
Warren,
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
motion does pass. Thank you much.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Have a good evening.
You too. You're not staying? Oh, that's all.
Gotta submit those papers now.
Oh, yeah. Making a phone call, right?
Yes.
Item number 2, consideration of special event requests, Grace Community Church Vacation Bible School. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to give consideration on a request from Grace Community Church to have a 20 by 20 tent in conjunction with their Vacation Bible School from Monday, July 30th through Saturday, August 4th. For many years, we've approved this request. It allows them to kind of have a more safe environment for their Vacation Bible School. It does take up and cause a little bit of a rerouting of our sidewalk, but they always work with us to have the tent and make it safe. So it's just a standard one that we have done for a number of years.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the special event application for a tent in conjunction with Grace Community Church's Vacation Bible School from July 30th through August 4th, 2018, with the following request. 20-foot by 20-foot tent encroaching into Friday Street right-of-way and temporary fence adjacent to tent along Friday Street.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion?
No discussion, but we do have 2 members of Grace Community Church in the audience if there are questions.
Would you like to speak to the council at all on what's going on? If you would, we'd appreciate if you'd use the microphone. If you're good, we're good, whatever. Okay. Okay. Council, any comments, questions? It's what we've done in the past for many years now. Seems to have worked out very well.
And no changes, right?
Nope.
No. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass.
Enjoy.
You bet. Absolutely. Item number 3 is consideration of special event request, St. Augustine Parish, procession down Main Street. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider a request the city received from St. A's to conduct the procession down Main Street on Sunday, June 3rd, 2018, beginning at approximately 7 a.m. Again, this is where they have their parishioners march from the Richmond church up to the church in Memphis. We provide not only the approval for them to walk along the side of Main Street, but also we schedule some reserve officers to make sure there's a officer kind of following up behind them to cover them. It's the same request they've done for a number of years now.
Very good. Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request received from St. Augustine Church to conduct a procession down Main Street, beginning at approximately 7 a.m. on Sunday, June 9th, at St. A's Church, and traveling north along Main Street to the Memphis Catholic Church.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this?
Do we need anything in the motion about providing the police, or is that just something they
We
handle?
handled that
Okay.
through administratively.
That was a question I had, Chief, was there any problems with this last year, them walking down Main Street?
No, it's,
Okay.
we had some bicycle officers out there in a patrol car follow up, and it was, they walk pretty quick, so.
Yeah,
Depends on the weather, so.
yeah. Okay. Rob, do you have something else?
Nope, that was it.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We hope they have great weather. Item number 4 is consideration of right-of-way requests, Richmond Moose Lodge. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider a request from the Richmond Moose Lodge to utilize the north end of the Lane Street right-of-way to install a fence across the end of the right-of-way where the pavement ends, and it's just grass. Several years ago, council approved the installation of a horseshoe pit in a portion of that right-of-way. And they've come back, and they have kind of a growing club, a lot of families being involved there, and they would just kind of like to have a little bit of a barricade or a visual element that lets people know they should be turning and heading out towards Lane Street there versus potentially running up on the grass. And so I put together kind of a map showing that to council. I did put in there kind of a map also. At some point, we may want to consider approaching the property owner of the Moose Lodge about maybe swapping that section of pavement that runs out to Grand Trunk. Currently, that's private ownership, yet we publicly own the back end of the property where it's grass. So that might be something in the future that we approach them on. But the request that's in front of you tonight is they would like to extend kind of that split rail fence that you see in the photo across the end of the right-of-way.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to allow the request from the Moose Lodge to place a fence within the undeveloped area of Lane Street right away.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Discussion. I went out there and met with John and one of the members of the lodge. We've been there before when it was the horseshoe pit request. And I see absolutely no reason to not allow this. Nobody's supposed to be driving in there anyhow. So by putting up that fence, it does offer a bit of protection from somebody who thinks they might be able to drive through there when people are back there. So
So were people driving on the grass
No.
back there?
what
No
they're-
ones doing it. They're just, with more and more people
On that.
utilizing that area,
So nobody
they
does.
just want something to kind of visually show that you shouldn't be going back there. No, I don't think they've
Jam
had
back
any
in there.
issues.
Well, because I know how people get turned around back there, like they start driving back there if they're looking for a spot for the meat
It's more of a
market.
proactive
Okay.
request, I think, than anything coming from actual issues.
So the fence is along the grass line then? Okay.
essentially.
Actually, it's an extension, so there would still be grass showing here, Jamie.
Oh, yes,
Well,
okay.
that's great.
But it would
On
be,
the other side of that dumpster
okay,
is where the fence would be, pretty much in line with what is there.
yes.
That gives them a little more privacy too.
Yeah.
It did say possibly split rail, they're gonna try to match up the existing, is that their thought, or?
I'm not
they got that far?
Yeah.
I don't know if they've gotten that far. That was one of the things that was talked about when the mayor and I met with the member of the Moose Lodge. I'm not sure they've had a definite answer on what type of fencing it would be. I think the one member that met with us kind of thought it would be something similar to what's existing, but
I think the bigger issue is, the property itself.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I would like to see that on our July quarterly. Give the administration plenty of time to look into exactly what the issue is with that property as far as who would get it. The other thing is we now have or we may have a business that won't have the type of parking that they had on Main Street because the business has changed hands, and so is, you know, the rental of the building, from what I understand. That could change dramatically, and so if you shut down Lane Street, which now comes back out onto Grand Trunk, that is private property that it comes out through to Grand Trunk.
You're talking about the blue part?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Oh, you're looking at the other map. Yeah. So, what we've talked about was going to the property owner, as John said, and see maybe if we could do a trade-off. See if we could get that access, which some people consider an alley, see if we can get that to go back out to Grand Trunk permanently and become a city street all the way through. In hopes of giving that property owner possibly a swap for land there, whatever the negotiation would, you know, come to. But I'd like to see us address that. We talked about this extensively years ago, and we decided not to do anything at that time. But in going out there and taking a look at it, there really isn't much fence line that we're talking about here when it comes to the back property owners. And there was some confusing information that we had at the time. Where that land came from in the first place, was it an easement, was it supposed to be split between the people in the back, the people in the front? And I think some of those questions have been answered by the administration over the years, and I think that's something that council needs to take a look at and have a clear understanding of what that property really is back there, because it really is doing a disservice, as far as I'm concerned, to the city. We can't use it for anything.
No, was the original intent that the lane would go all the way through straight?
Yeah, it doesn't.
And it doesn't.
It ends.
Well, there's grass.
It ends at the Moose Lodge building, on the other side of the building there, from what you see right now. So, you'd have to buy property back there to get some type of access back onto Grand Trunk again. I don't think that's gonna happen with the little bit of property that's there.
There's
But
really
anyhow.
no need to ever have it, actually.
Yeah. So if there's a consensus that we can talk about this again in our July workshop.
I concur.
So, gives the administration, okay, very good. Back to the matter at hand here, the feds. We've got a motion in support. Is there any other discussion on that? We got one audience member left. Nothing, Angel? Okay. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 5 is consideration of approving the community master plan distribution list. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to give consideration on approving the distribution of the community master plan document for the purpose of collecting public comment. Over the last 2 years, the Planning Commission has been working with both administration and staff from Macomb County Planning and Economic Development on the development of this plan that was placed in your packets last Thursday. Please keep in mind that along with all of the lists that council will be approving, council will have those 63 days as well to look at the document down the road. If you feel concerns, you can forward those to the Planning Commission and have input on the document. So it's not that you're approving the document to be sent out to this list, but you also have time to thoroughly review it as well.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve distribution of the master plan document for review and comment during the 63-day review period.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Any discussion on this? One question, Troy.
Yes.
I could not make the Plan Commission meeting, as you know, because I had a softball game that I had to coach for the high school on the 10th. I read the minutes. Are those things that they found at Plan Commission, have those been corrected?
Yes.
Okay, in this particular document?
Yes.
Very good. You've been busy then, huh?
Jeff Schrader and myself and John were very busy over the last weekend.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, good, very good. It's a good document, there's no doubt about it. Very good document. Any questions, comments, council? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have item number 6 is consideration of festival request for the helicopter rides. Mr. City Manager?
City Council is scheduled to consider approving a request to allow helicopter rides during the Richmond Area Good Old Days Festival. The festival would like to bring back this event from years past. Part of that process to bring it back is to allow the operator to sign up and submit the temporary field permit application to MDOT, and part of that application requires the property owner's signature, so therefore we're bringing it to council to approve that.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the temporary field permit application as the property owner for helicopter rides during the Richmond Area Good Old Days Festival.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion?
When was the last year that this happened?
Been a long, I couldn't tell you what year.
Yeah, we were trying to talk about the meeting, we couldn't come up
Right.
with the time.
So so with that in mind, then my question is, a lot of improvements have been made to Diamond B, and they put a lot more money into their Diamond Dust. Will that affect that?
No,
I
not at
don't
all.
know.
No.
So,
No, not at all.
okay,
No.
awesome.
And if it was so dry, see, in September, that diamond hasn't been used in so long, it's baked. So it really doesn't have a dust issue there. But if there was, the fire department would certainly dust, spray that
It's
down.
sprinklered also, so
Yeah.
getting it wet.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And all this is doing is allowing him to proceed to MDOT to find out if he even has the ability to do that any longer there. There really hasn't been anything changed since since the last time we used the Diamond B. We always used Diamond B when we had helicopters for probably the last 25 years that we did have helicopters. Whether or not this particular site's going to still work under today's laws, I'm going to guess that it's probably been at least 15 years since we had a helicopter give rides. And they are under, I never remember any of this type of paperwork with MDOT. I don't even know if MDOT had anything to do with our helicopter. I think we just wrote a contract and the guy would come out. But towards the end there, and that's one of the reasons that it did stop, was because of things like this, liability insurance. There's very few helicopter people that do these type of rides. And this particular person came highly recommended through our association that we belong to, and so we thought we'd give it a try, and he's interested. There's no guarantee there's going to be helicopter rides this festival, but we hope there are, because it always added to the festival. Gave people something that they normally don't have a chance to do at a fairly reasonable price. Any other questions or comments?
One more question, that if Diamond B didn't work out, we have that big field next to it. Like, would that be a potential?
In the back?
Yeah, asking the property owner there,
That's-
mowing the grass down.
That would have to go to that property owner, because that's not our property.
Okay.
So, and on Saturday, that's where our fireworks are set up, back in there, and he wants a clearance of about 500 feet, so he wouldn't want the helicopter
Okay.
back there. So, and that's gonna be an issue anyhow, that we just wanna find out if it's even possible to happen, and then we have to coordinate with everything else that's going on during the festival at the times that he's gonna wanna come and give rides. So. Anything else? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Item number 7 is consideration of approving an amendment to the patrol contract for part-time officers. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider approving the tentative agreement with the POAM part-time patrol officers. We met in March in closed session, went over kind of all of the elements that the city had worked out with the union and our stance on each of those elements. We're asking that you kind of forego going into closed session due to the budget workshops, but everything that we talked about at that March closed session is what got put into the tentative agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the tentative agreement with the POAM part-time patrol officers dated May 17th, 2018.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this item?
Reading the document provided, everything looks like negotiations went well after we met the last time in closed session. I don't see a need to have to go back.
I agree with you, Rep. Any other discussion, comments, questions? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We move on to city manager's comments, sir.
Just a reminder, we have Memorial Day coming up this weekend, so if you're going to be riding kind of in the council vehicle, let me know. Some have already started to email back, so for those that haven't, just give me a heads up. It helps us kind of plan how many vehicles we need up there with signs. And then also, our staff has been working hard with BSNA, and the website's been changed, so we also have an auto pay as well as an online payment option. So when you go to our city website, there's little graphic buttons along the center of the website. The far right one is online payments. So you just click there. There's instructions on both ways. Obviously, with the kind of using a credit card online, there's a convenience fee associated. The other way of doing it for your water bills is to sign up to have that water bill come right out of your account. By doing that, you actually avoid any fees. So that's all available on our website now.
Very good. Moving on, council comments. Jamie?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Nothing.
Rob?
Just one question, maybe Chief or John. Any update on the radio tower?
They,
heard anything?
the last time I talked to Sean from county, it's easier, it's quite a process to bring a tower online with the FCC. There's 5 towers they're constructing, and so they had hoped to have them online like last month or this month.
Right.
But there's having issues with the tower in Chesterfield or?
94 and 26 mile over the
Yeah,
tower.
so once those get worked out, they'll bring them all online.
All
So
together.
it's kind of been pushed back. I'm not exactly sure. I would say in a month or two, but Chief, do you have any?
Yeah, they are talking maybe closer to August before
August, yeah.
that happens to be the linchpin for the other 5 new ones they're putting in. and
Okay.
There were some structural issues with that one.
Fire department had some radio issues over the weekend. What made me
Yeah,
think it would.
It's coming. I believe our site is pretty much done. They're now wrapping up the landscaping on
Oh.
ours. But unfortunately, all 5 have to be turned on at the same time.
And I think Earl talked to Sean at radio department. There are some things that he's working with the MPSC. They noticed on the busy that one weekend where we had the wind and the storms, police and fire both busied out their radios, and there was some internal issue that they're working on and looking at software. So it was a good thing that we brought it to
Yeah,
their attention.
absolutely.
So it shouldn't have been busied out, and that's the bottom
Right.
line. So
Okay, yeah, just getting curious. I knew we were right around that time frame.
I think what happened was we were pinging off the St. Clair Tower, and they can only handle so much traffic, whereas the ones in the county can handle more. And for some reason, the first radio that pings off that one, everybody follows that one. It's just some kind of a software issue, so
Earl's on it, so we don't have nothing to worry about.
he's on it.
That's all I have.
Dennis?
Nope, I'm good.
Nothing yet, thank you.
Okay. Moving on here to the calendar. Today being the 21st, the TIFA meeting is still on.
Yes.
For the 23rd at 7 o'clock here at City Hall. It also is graduation for the senior class of 2018, and we wish them all the best of luck. I was lucky enough to be at a meeting, what is it, the senior, what was that, John, that we were at? Senior awards the other night, and it was announced how many $1 million+ in scholarships that the senior class has received already. Just the awards and so many students excelling in so many different areas. it was so nice to hear that our schools are really excelling in a lot of areas. So, good luck to those seniors. They will be graduating on the 23rd at 7 o'clock in Macomb Theater there, or whatever that's called, not Macomb Theater, what it's called?
Performing Arts.
Performing
Building.
Arts Center, yes. The 26th, this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. at the gazebo in BB Park will be the annual perennial plant and bulb exchange. You don't have to bring plants with you. If you'd like to, that would be great for trading, but there'll be many people there to help you and show you what they have there for that exchange. As mentioned, this week from today, the Memorial Day Parade will start at 10 a.m. at the high school and work its way north on M19 to our city cemetery, where there will be services there. We thank the VFW for organizing that for Memorial Day. Takes us through to the June 4th, which is the next regular city council meeting. And is there anything else that we need to mention?
I missed one. Today was registration day for city residents for all the summer rec programs. Tomorrow is non-resident registration. Early reports from the rec director as the changes to the summer camp have been very well received. They did very good registration today.
Very good. Great. Okay, we move on to, is there any other business of the city council this evening? Being none, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.